Who would have thought that this effeminate boy is actually a passionate magic enthusiast, constantly trying out new spells, accidentally creating a hole in the sky with magic. Not only can create identical clones of himself, but also has the ability to transform. Just by seeing someone else use a technique, he can comprehend the breathing of the spirit. On this day, the male lead is conducting a magic shooting test. If he attracts too much attention, he might get involved in the struggle for the throne inheritance. As the seventh prince, the male lead just wants to quietly research magic. He came up with a solution. Just by adding a spin to the fireball and intentionally grazing the target, he could easily deceive others. As expected, the minister thought that hitting the target was the male lead's limit. However, the male lead's brother had already discovered his true strength, seeing all his fireballs graze the target in the same way. This incredible skill, even his brother praised him as a genius. It wouldn't be surprising if he became a great sage based on his abilities. When everyone else had left, the male lead also wanted to try the dual incantation magic used by the magic pet. However, using dual incantation requires chanting the magic simultaneously with two mouths. And this is a unique skill of the magic beings who can create mouths. Ordinary humans cannot create two mouths no matter what. He simply took off his gloves, directly absorbed the magic pet into his palm, successfully integrating the magic pet into his body. The magic pet became the second mouth on his hand. If the magic pet and himself chant the magic simultaneously, they might be able to achieve dual incantation, just as they were cooperating to use fire magic together. Get ready. What just happened? It was just a spellbind. Spellbinding is a special technique that simplifies spell chanting. By merging multiple spells into one and chanting them simultaneously, it can significantly shorten the chanting time. The male lead simply combined 100 spells and chanted them together. The magic pet had never seen anyone do such a thing before. Even it could only merge 2 to 3 spells at most. This also resulted in their chanting not being in sync. Unexpectedly, the male lead successfully controlled the mouth on his hand to speak. This way, he could ensure that both mouths were speaking for himself. Intense fireball, intense water ball. What is happening? It's impossible. He's using advanced magic. And they are 2 different types of magic. The 2 types of magic slowly intertwine. This is an extraordinary surge of magic power. This is the dual incantation. This is not what I intended. We really shouldn't be shooting on the ground. The male lead's first dual incantation directly blew up the sky, even revealing the starry sky. Day instantly turned into night. The male lead, realizing the trouble he caused, was terrified. Luckily, not long after, the sky gradually returned to normal. Unexpectedly, the next day it became big news in the newspaper. But he didn't care at all. Instead, he was drawn to the news of adventurers conquering high-difficulty dungeons. Conquering dungeons not only allows you to obtain a lot of gold and silver treasures, but also brings back various magical items. The male lead became very interested as well, deciding to also go on an adventure in the dungeon. But there was one problem. If someone noticed he was missing, it would cause chaos in the palace. The clever male lead had already thought of a solution. He took out a seed and used wood magic, wooden decoy. I can't believe this. This move is really cunning. I never expected to directly create an exact duplicate decoy. by shaping bones and skin with resin, and using tree roots to recreate veins and nerves. It can even perform some simple actions automatically. Although this decoy can deceive ordinary servants, it is difficult to fool Master Sharufa. Prince Lloyd. You seem to have grown taller, haven't you? Really? Yes. About 0.7 meters. But this didn't stump the male lead. He first transferred the spirit of the magic pet into the doll. Then he divided the body and placed it in his palm. It must be said that this method is very bold. This way, the doll can also have consciousness. The magic pet only needs to keep an eye on Master Sharufa while pretending to be the male lead's decoy. This way, they can deceive everyone. Just as the male lead didn't know where the dungeon was, he unexpectedly discovered a girl being chased by several half-orcs. The male lead also noticed that this girl was a martial artist. Her attacks mainly relied on breathing techniques. It is a method that circulates energy called chi within the body through breathing, utilizing this to unleash astonishing power. Unexpectedly, the male lead, who was peeking from the side, was noticed by her. If he were to meet her in his current appearance, he would immediately be recognized as the kingdom's seventh prince. Watching as she charges directly towards him. In a panic, the male lead used illusion magic to change his appearance, and claimed to be a new adventurer. Unexpectedly, she fell in love at first sight with the male lead. He was a B-rank adventurer, who had devotedly trained for 18 years. He left the temple to become an adventurer in pursuit of an encounter, but he didn't realize that men prefer gentle and delicate priestess-type girls. She had no luck in relationships all these years. She was determined to make the male lead her boyfriend. Subsequently, the two of them ventured into the dungeon together. Tao earnestly fights monsters on the side, trying hard to prove herself. Few people on the continent are aware of the existence of chi techniques. It is similar to magical power in magic. The key lies in the method of breathing. Just to sense the chi within the body, requires a lot of breathing exercises. Unexpectedly, the male lead immediately started practicing chi breathing like Tao, looking very professional. At the beginning of the practice, he felt a burning pain in his lungs. At the same time, he also sensed another type of energy within his body, different from magical power. This power can be utilized, and it can interact with magic. Seeing the male lead's talent in this area, Tao is willing to teach him about Chi. Chi Blast. The move I just used is called Chi Blast, and the boss I just defeated was the Grey Wolf in the dungeon. With that, the treasure chest can be opened, easily defeating the dungeon boss, the Grey Wolf. The male lead, seeing a treasure chest for the first time, is very curious about its internal structure. It's a lich.